Indiana Disability History Project, Indiana Institute on Disability and Community, Indiana University. Nobody asked me. Darcus Nims.
I wanted to learn how to count and stuff, add and stuff like my sisters did, and then when they had their math and stuff, and then the classes at their schools and stuff. And my mom bought me some flashcards, and me and another student was sitting on the porch practicing numbers from the flashcards that's adding and stuff. Teacher came and took them away from us and told us it wasn't work time, school time, it was play time. And they said that we could not learn count and stuff. We had to learn to stay on the porch and it was time to play. I thought, we're not children, you know. My sister don't have no porch and stuff to play on and stuff, and she can't practice her numbers and stuff and then learning how to add and stuff. And I said, well, I guess that comes along with being disability, you know, because they never said nothing different and stuff. Just like I wanted to type, and the lady from the regular high school came over and brought a typing thing over for the kids to type, and they said, nope, we could not have that typing class. That's only for regular people, not for us kind of people. And I thought, that's again, they bring that up, us kind of people. What they mean by the us kind of people? I mean, is there something wrong with us or something? Oh, one day I was in high school at school, and then my sister was working in the laundromat, and then I used to come down there and watch her. And then I went asked my teacher, I said, couldn't I get a job like that? Because she swept the floors and cleaned out the dryers and stuff like that. And she said that I couldn't get a job like that because my kind of people had to learn all kind of plays. And I always wondered, what did she mean by that? Why couldn't I get a job like that? I mean, how hard it is to sweep the floor and clean out the dryers, clean out the lint from the dryers and stuff. But she always said that, and I always wondered, and it kept going over in my mind, you know, that it was, other people was better than I was, you know, I mean, couldn't I get a job, a kind of job that I dream of like and stuff? And she just kept going over and over in my mind. She's saying that, and all. She just said that they stuck me into a workshop without. They just said when I turned 18, excuse me, the principal told me when I turned 18 that I couldn't go to school no more. And then 2 days later, I got a letter that said that I was going into Goodwill's workshop. Nobody asked me if I would like to go into the workshop, and nobody asked me what I wanted to do or anything. They just sent me to the workshop. And then I was in Goodwill for a while. The next thing I know, I got another letter that said that I was going to Crossroads workshop. Then I went to Crossroads workshop and stuff, and then the plant that I was at Crossroads there shut down. And then they send everybody to different workshops, and they send me to Noble. And none of the times, nobody never asked me what I wanted to do, if I wanted to go to the workshop, or if I wanted to see about an outside job, or what I wanted to. Or even asked me how I felt about it and stuff. But nobody never did ask me. I always wondered about that. And I want other children to learn that they can do things and stuff, and graduate, because I didn't get to graduate. And lucky my niece Nikki got to graduate with other classes and stuff. It's like a regular person and stuff. Like when my niece Amanda graduated from junior high, they separate the children. They call the disability children moonwalkers and the other children regular. And the other children got roses, but the disability children didn't get no roses and stuff. And then I thought that was so wrong. I even said something to the principal and stuff, you know, I mean, what do you think, you know, the children was some kind of outer space or something, calling them moonwalkers because of his disability and stuff? But I made sure that she got a rose, because I went and bought her a rose, because she can be special and stuff too. and she got a junior high graduation dress like the other kids, because she can look just as pretty as they did, the other children, and act special and stuff. And and she got to do things that the other children thought she couldn't do because she's disability. She learned how to dry. She learned how to cook for herself. She learned how to take care of herself, clean house, wash clothes and stuff that people didn't think she could do because she was disability and stuff. But she showed them that she can do and stuff. And then I want people to know that, you know, just because you're disability and stuff, that you can do the things that other children does, and there's other people who takes for granted things you can't do and stuff.
Music, Redwood Trail. Produced by Indiana Institute on Disability and Community, Center for Health Equity. Funded in part by the Indiana Governor's Council for People with Disabilities. Copyright 2018, the Trustees of Indiana University.